All right, welcome back. We are doing our second devlog. Probably should have started these a while ago, but that's okay. We're talking about quests. So I have been working on building up our quest menu. Um, so we have descriptions now, we have our rewards being displayed, and this is all coming from our player journal resource file that I've created. Not everything in it is being implemented just yet. I'm still working on it. Um, but right now it's only dialogue driven. So we can talk to different NPCs and then it will step through the dialogue and it will hit our functions and then it'll either step through, complete, or activate the quests as we go. So next we'll be setting up like monster kills, and then I'll followed by um, collecting items, then events. So that'll be really nifty. And then I need to tie those events to like, is the quest first or does triggering the event start the quest? So it'll be setting those kinds of variables up. But for right now, it's just dialogue driven. And the way that that looks currently is just simple little checks like, hey, this dialogue is all associated with um, this specific quest um, and what steps you're in because it's specifically affecting these guards and NPCs in the village. So as you talk to them back and forth, it's going to step through the quest. And it's going to update our resource file, and then we'll see it displayed in the player menu. So let's take a look and see how that appears. So for right now, we can see we don't have anything in here. We haven't accepted a quest. Now, he's going to give us our quest. The big bummer is right now I don't have a display marker for when you accept a quest. That's also a work in progress. But when we click on the quest, it's going to display all of our information. Who's our quest giver, the description of the quest, our rewards, and then this is where our quest steps are going to show. So let him out of the way, talk to him, and then we've completed the quest. So we can see we got our 1,000 gold and we got 100 experience points, which we can see, hey, yep, we're on our way to level 3, and this is now completed. And we can see all of our uh, steps through the quest, the description, and it changed it from rewards to rewards earned. Just a little bit of a flavor in there just to make it feel like it's a completed quest. So next step, like I said, is going to be setting it so we can kill monsters and progress the quest. Then it'll be completing specific events and such like that. And then, like I said, like right now, hey, he's saying, hey, thanks for helping Bill and Pike out, and makes his bad pun. So I also, on the side, because I was getting a little frustrated there, I did get stuck a little bit. Just to be 100% honest, I ran into an issue where the buttons weren't triggering, and it had to do with when I was making the boxes to be able to connect them. I wasn't, I didn't grant an index to it. So basically, it was like saying all the boxes had the exact same callable, and it was just being weird. But once I added an index to it, it let me click the buttons, which is great. Um, took a little while to figure that out because going through how I set up the inventory um, and everything. I also added like a little bit of flavor. So like when you close and open the menu or change the menu pages, it's going to put the default text to blank so that way it doesn't just stay there. Um, but the goal is like once you track a quest, it'll always default to that text instead until you complete the quest. Then it'll clear your tracked quest. Um, but yes, yeah, so there were a couple like little hiccups and got through that. But we also, when I was the point of that was I did work on my tile map. I color corrected like our posts to make them more in line with the buildings. I need to fix the tree bark and make that more in line with this as well. Just bringing it together. I also got some water in here. Next we'll be creating like little water animations to go on top of this. Just like I don't want like that old school RPG look where like the whole water is like pulsing, but I want like a little subtle thing, like maybe around the edge, like a small animation or something. Um, and then at some point, I also want to fix these roofs. I'm not a fan of how this turned out. I think it's too much going on, and I need to make it more in line with like how this looks. This is nice and simple, and I think it gets the point across a lot better than how busy this is. But that's just little things. Take a break and do some art while I get overwhelmed with the coding. But these are all like little adventures, and that's where we're at with this. So thank you for watching this, and I'll see you next time.